Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Guitar of the Week. We're going to do another one of my guitars this week. Last week, or whenever it was, we did the 57 Gibson ES-175. A lot of people liked that guitar, me included. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, we got a really cool guitar this week. Let's go check it out. Alright guys, brown case. This is just a modern Gibson custom shop case, but inside of that we have a 1955 Gibson Les Paul Jr. Rock and roll. So these are some of my favorite guitars. You guys know I love vintage Les Paul Juniors and specials. They are awesome. We've done Juniors before. Last one we did was a 1961, I believe. That was the SG body style. This is kind of the first incarnation of a Les Paul Jr. We'll try to keep this as short as I can, but you guys know I don't do that very well. So, 54, the Les Paul Jr. debuts, and it was kind of an entry-level guitar at the time. You know, it was kind of more geared towards students and whatnot. But let me assure you guys that this is a professional grade instrument. Like, a Les Paul Jr. nowadays is in a totally different ball game to one of these original 50s guitars. These are amazing. I've owned the newer ones too, and I mean, they don't feel like a professional instrument to me like these do. I mean, this is made of the same mahogany that you would have got on like a 55 gold top, which sells for, you know, $30,000 or whatever. And later on, you got the same materials as a Les Paul Sunburst, which can bring, you know, kind of nice house money. So it's the same materials with the same craftsmanship, just a little bit less frills. You know, you only got one dog ear P90, which is amazing. Nice lightweight one-piece mahogany body. It's just very simple dot inlays. We have our Brazilian rosewood fretboard. Silkscreen logo on the headstock, you know, just the simple strip tuners, and you know, they're so simple, but they're so awesome. So this one is a 55. Things unique to 55, there's not a whole lot, pretty much the same as 54. We do get the thicker plain aluminum tailpiece here in kind of mid to late 1955. Before that, you would have had the little bit skinnier one. They call it the thin ear. This one has the different pickup position, so the pickup's a little bit further back than it would be on, I think they changed that in 56 or 57. They moved that a little bit. Most 55s are going to come with the barrel knobs or the speed knobs. This one has the bonnet knobs on it. It's a little bit later 55. Some of them did come with those. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Yeah, these are great guitars, guys. I mean, this one in particular is a really great value, and I'll tell you why here. So condition-wise, the body of this guitar has been refinished, which does affect the value. Thankfully, the neck finish is totally original, and so is the headstock, and the parts are there. Like, we got the original tuners, original pickup, bridge, the wiring came with it. You know, you got all that good stuff there. Excuse me. But we have a refinished body, which makes this guitar a little more affordable. You know, something like this, we don't usually talk prices in these, but you know, you can pick up something like this for sub $5,000. I mean, you're talking maybe $4,500 for something like this. Whereas one in really good condition, you know, they're pushing like $7,000 now. Just crazy. Some people even ask like 10 or 11 for these, which is dumb. That's way too much in my opinion. But, you know, if you have a refinish, you still got all the other parts, you still got the neck finish there. It's still going to sound pretty much the same. I mean, either buy a custom shop Gibson Les Paul Jr. for like $4,000, or you buy one of these for $4,000 and you got the real deal. And these are way nicer than the custom shops in my opinion. The original, you just cannot beat an original 50s Gibson. They're just really great. Anyways, that's kind of a rant there. The finish work was done by Lay's Guitar Repair up in Akron, Ohio. They did a great refin for me. Aged it out a little bit to match the neck. And yeah, just turned out fantastic. Guitar sounds amazing. So, I think we got everything there. We talked a little too long, but that's alright. Let's go plug this thing in, shall we? Alright guys, here we have the 1955 Gibson Les Paul Jr. It's just rock and roll, man. It's a great guitar. Very lightweight. I would say probably 7 pounds or less, which is perfect for one of these. The neck shape, we'll talk that just for a second. Probably skinnier than what you would think. It's not that much different to a modern Gibson like C-shaped neck. Maybe a little bigger, but not too much. Pretty typical of what you'd see around 54, 55, 56. They did vary some too, you know. Not all of them are going to be consistent. We do have our factory small frets here, so I do have an excuse for playing bad. I might refret this guitar eventually because these are pretty tiny, and it's been played a lot. Other than that, we got a 50s P90 here with Alnico something magnets, maybe 4, I don't know. It's almost 8K, it's like 7.8, 7.9. It's rock and roll. So, we're going to do something a little differently today. We're going to skip the clean sound. Sorry, I know some of you like to hear clean. I always do clean. This guitar, I don't really feel like it, and it's my show. So we might do a little bit, I don't know, we'll see. But we're plugged into a Marshall JCM 2000 half stack here. The cab is from the 70s. It's got the lead 80 speakers in it. It's a 1982B 412. And yeah, we're plugged straight in, no pedals. The gain is on 2, and the P90 is driving it quite hard, and I like that. We got our free P90 hum because we got a lot of lighting and equipment on. It sounds like this. Rock and roll, a little bit of failed Green Day there as well. Billy Joe Armstrong was really famous for playing one of these. We'll turn the volume down a little bit. We'll turn it to about 5. And you can see the magic in these old pots and wiring. It really cleans up nicely. It's out of tune. It's rock and roll, man. Yeah, there you have it. 1955 Gibson Les Paul Jr. One of my favorite guitars that I own, and probably not gonna sell it anytime soon. But if I do, I'll let you know. So, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you maybe next week for another episode of Guitar of the Week. Take care, guys.